Hey everybody, what's up from Roll, Minnesota, your state of skate. Hey, I'm Butch Lehman, and today we're in for another episode of Rolling Reactions. Today's episode features a skater that I have tremendous respect for. He is an absolute masterful tactician when it comes to inline skating, and one of the most criminally underrated skaters in the entire world, in my opinion. He's out of Japan, and his name is Yuto Goto, and today we're going to be proving just how good he is by taking a look at three of his more recent profiles. The first one is titled Komori Grey and just came out fairly recently back in March. From there, we'll take a look back at a profile titled Real Life, and lastly, we'll wrap it up with a profile that I believe is from 2016 from MFT Brand. All three of these are phenomenal sections from a phenomenal skater, so you guys don't want to miss out on this one. Let's take a look. All right, we're going to open it up with this first video. I believe this was a promotional video for his new pro skate from Roces, Roces. I'm not sure how it's pronounced even to this day after blading for 21 years. I've heard it so many different ways. What I like about this, even just to start off with, is we're seeing some of the locations, we're seeing some of the falls. And I've talked about this on this channel before, but every skate section is essentially a mix of character, conflict, setting. It's a story, and I love it when skaters can craft a story. Man, that was really technical, and that's what you're going to get out of Yuto, but I love that true spin misfit 360 full cab out, and that's what you're going to get with him, even with this hurricane topsail on a down ledge. That was absolutely beautiful. I'm actually working on a video right now cataloging what I think are like the best looking tricks out of all of the different grinds, and hurricane topsail is definitely up there in the top 5 for me for sure. It's really hard to do a hurricane topsail and make it not look good. Nice little 360 coming in off the bank. Like we got a line coming up here. I like the zero spin on that. That's one you don't see very often. Speaking of technicality, true spin Makio is a very technical grind just to start with, but I don't know if you guys noticed, but he put the cross grab in there as well just to add an extra element to it. Going up and over the sign, down into traffic. You guys got to be careful of that if you're going to be doing gaps into the street. Make sure you have a spotter. You know, that's one of the most unfortunate things is seeing accidents happen in rollerblading due to lack of situational awareness. So these guys are professionals. I know they know what they're doing. Wow, look at that. 270 backslide to sweaty. Little torque tap at the end. That was insane. If you guys have watched me for a while, commenting on videos, you know how I feel about sweaties. Most dangerous trick. If you're spinning into it, a 270 backslide in. Little throwback there to Dustin Latimer in the words profile, grinding the car. And this last trick, it looks like he's going for a misfit. Yeah. For those of you that are unaware, a misfit versus a kind grind, basically the same trick, but one has the back foot in like the rough torque position rather than a regular kind grind. And that's a tough one and big gap into it. So Yuto, I really like your section here. Great job promoting your skate. Wish you nothing but the best, man. All right, this next section is titled Real Life. And what a perfect title for a skating video, because that's what skating is. It's just a manifestation of all of the inner stress and turmoil of life channeled into creative activity that we call skating. So looks like this one again is for Roces, whatever you guys want to call it. If you guys can phonetically pronounce that for me down in the comments. I've literally heard people argue over how it's supposed to be pronounced, and I think it's technically Italian, isn't it? Maybe I'm wrong about that. But anyway, look at this first spot. It's so photogenic. I think that's actually in the thumbnail of the original video. Big fat chrome rail. And we're getting some nice establishing shots here. And coming out with a banger just to begin things. 360 sole on a brick ledge. Got a couple cool angles there too to mix it up with. Really nice zero top horn. That was steezy. I think that's one of the things that sometimes people miss out in skating is it's not always just about the level of difficulty with the tricks. It's how you make them look and how fluid they are. And that's one thing that I think skating has gotten a lot better at in the last decade or so, is really putting that element of style, consistency, and control into just about any trick that makes it into a professional profile. Coming out 270 on the backslide there. Definitely appreciate that. Really technical into the bank. I think that started with a true spin sole. which for me is one of the harder true spin grinds. I know some people find it easier, but not this guy. Definitely picking some unconventional spots here as well, and that's another way skating has changed, I would say, a lot in the last couple decades. You go back to the golden era when people always refer to the hammers. A lot of down rail skating, a lot of kink rail skating, a lot of standard ledge skating. But now there's all sorts of like different lines and creative elements and unique spots incorporated in. And I do think it adds something unique to skating when you have that diversity. Nice alley-oop fish going down the ledge. Tough trick to do on ledges. That's another one I really like. I was talking about my list that I'm thinking about making, and I think TTP would definitely be on that list. Speaking of unusual spots, this is like a homemade quarter pipe going on there, or naturally occurring quarter pipe. This is like the most photogenic thing I've ever seen. Nice back slide through the C-rail, getting the slow-mo there on the extension of the leg. Beautiful backdrop on that clip too. Saw the little grab out on that one as well. Get some style points there. Wow! True spin fish to backslide back to the fish. That was unreal. Yeah, I've said it earlier. It's probably going to be in the title of this video, but Yuto is criminally underrated. I don't know how this guy doesn't get more attention and more love and recognition from his peers, because he is a phenomenal skater. Look at this. Sweaty. Most dangerous trick in blading. Taking it down a big square drop rail. Probably the most dangerous obstacle you could put a sweaty onto. And coming out successful. Jumping over the little planter there. Always got to have a couple other obstacles in the way, right? Can't make it too simple. Another awesome section, Yuto. He just keeps putting it down. All right, to wrap things up, we'll take a look at this video from MFT Brand. I don't know if that's an actual brand name or if that's the name of the video. Maybe it's both. You guys will have to let me know. But I know Seiichiro Kaneshima had a section in this video, and that one was amazing as well. And I would expect no less from Yuto here. In fact, I should probably cover Seiichiro on this channel again, because he's put out a lot of new content in the last few years. So maybe he'll be coming up here in the future. Look at that. Got that true spin kind grind 360 out on the super short rail. I don't know, man. Just so technical. And I think for a lot of people, if you weren't an inline skater yourself and know these tricks, you might get lost on how difficult some of this stuff actually is. You know, sometimes the untrained eye will see stunts as being the most difficult, but it's these little technical things that can often be the most challenging. How did you get that Makio on there with... Yeah, that's how I would have done it right there. A little bit of underbar action. Alley-oop topsoul. Chris Farmer would approve. Nicely done. Got a big gap over the wall. Another really cool spot. That's not the kind of thing that I would just think of to skate. Or going around the curve. Yeah, it's hard to compliment and add any more additional praise to Yuto because he is just the complete package when it comes to skating. We've seen some gaps now, we've seen some big spin tricks, some really technical switch-ups, and just style throughout the entirety of every one of these profiles. A little rewind 360 on that one. Super strange shaped rail there. A little roller coaster ride. I know my buddy Dave right now is recently switching over skates, and I think he's trying the Nils Janssen skates right now. But they look really nice, and I bet Yuto's new skates look really good too. I like gray. That's my personal favorite color. I actually picked up the gray SLs from Razors recently, and I'm excited to put those to the test. But definitely encourage you guys, if you're looking for a new pair of skates, to definitely support the skaters that are out there, putting in all the work, making the content. I do know they get commissions from their skates and from the sales, and that's great. We want to support all of the bladers that are out there building this industry. Another really scenic spot here with the lake in the background. Cool bank to ledge. Full alley-oop top acid. That is a trick that I've always struggled on personally. I'm really good at the full alley-oop tricks, but acids, not really for me. I think that was like the third or fourth true spin fish brain combination that we've gotten out of Yuto, and that's one of the most difficult ones for a lot of people. We got going backslide down. Not a great landing area to go into there, but he was able to roll away smooth despite the lack of sufficient landing. Ooh, definitely did not see that coming. Tricks you, making you think that this is going to be a standard handicap rail until you're doing hurricane top horns on the way down. Not a very wide landing on that board there either. I like the little lip on this one. Wow. He used that like a little launch ramp going into the full alley-oop topsoul, and that is a very difficult trick to do. So that might be my favorite trick that I've seen so far in any of these sections. We got like a little wall ride action here. Yes, sir. Another really cool spot. Gotta hand it to Yuto. His spot selection in this edit is fire. Good variety. I feel you, man. That was awesome. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Rolling Reactions featuring Yuto Goto. He is a phenomenal skater out of Japan, showing us all how it's done, whether it's street skating, park skating. He has a perfect blend of style, creativity, and technicality that makes for an amazing profile to watch. In every one of these profiles, we saw amazing switch-ups, some gaps, some unique spot locations, and style across the board. That's what I absolutely love about him, and I hope he continues bringing us new profiles here in the future, because all I can say is I am a big fan. Anyway, guys, I'm Butch Lehman of Roll Minnesota, reminding you to stay safe, stay healthy, and get out there and do some rollerblading. We'll see y'all with the next video. Until then, peace, everybody.